Hi friends, are you aware that if you are on job seekers visa and you get into a job in Germany, you can definitely change your jobs whenever you feel like, but in the first 2 years of your joining the first job, you need to take permission from Auslanderbehorde, or you can say you have to update Auslanderbehorde. In this video, I'll explain you what steps you should take and what rules you should be aware of. So friends, as you know, I make videos on JSVs and career in Germany. So there is one more rule that you must be aware of. If you come on job seekers visa to Berlin, to Germany, and you fortunately find a job, most likely friends, I mean, I'm sharing my own personal experience that may or may not be 100% applicable to every candidate. Most likely it so happens that our first job is kind of a compromise. I mean, um, you also know, and the future employer also know, that you are presently jobless and you are searching for a job, and you are so I mean, you are so in a requirement of a job that you get ready to take up any job, even if it is a kind of a less paid job. Even, I mean, of course I'm talking about blue collar jobs like software engineers or developers or stuff like that. But then again, you may be offered 50,000 euros as salary also, and you may also be offered 80,000 euros salary for the same profile, for the same job that you might be doing. However, I mean, I'm sharing my own experience. It so happened with me that my first job was kind of a low paid salary, low paid job, and I have seen it happens with most of the guys. So what happens, we tend to change, or we tend to switch over to a new employer. Maybe in 6 to 8 months time, you will be of the opinion to switch over to new employer. Now there is a rule: you cannot switch over to a new employer without updating Auslanderbehorde. I'll talk about this rule in this video, and I'll explain you what steps you should take and what things you should be aware of. So friends, the rule says that if you switch over to a new job employer in first 2 years of your first job, you need to take Auslanderbehörde into consideration. You have to update them, and then there are certain steps that you must take. That's a mandatory thing. So friends, what happens most of the time, if you receive a work permit or a blue card, you also receive a Zusatzblatt. Zusatzblatt means an additional paper, which is kind of a stamp paper. You know, we are used to colorful stamp paper things like that. Now this Zusatzblatt is as important as blue card. Always keep them together. Never keep it away. I mean, I made a mistake and I really had to pay a lot of troubles. I mean, I had to face a lot of troubles because I kept blue card at another place and my Zusatzblatt in another place. So I suggest keep these two things always together, first of all. Now I'll tell you more about Zusatzblatt. So in this paper, they clearly mention that which company you are tied with, because as I said, the first 2 years are really crucial, and Ausländerbehörde must know where you are and which company you are serving. So in this Zusatzblatt, they clearly mention that this is the company name, and they also mention your profile name. Now here, whatever is written on your job contract, they copy paste that stuff into your this additional paper thing. Now here is the problem: the blue card does not mention any company or your profile, your designation. There is no such details in the blue card, the plastic card I'm talking. But in this additional paper, there are these information. So in case if you plan to switch over to a new employer, then you have to update this additional paper. Now this is a kind of a blanket rule. I have never seen any exception. Everybody who wants to change over to a new employer has to update this additional paper as well. Also, there is one more rule. In case if you change your angemeldet address, that is your registered address, then you have to update your blue card as well. There is a small sticker behind which mentions your address, and you, whenever you are switching over to a new address, you have to approach Ausländerbehörde to get this address updated. So that's another thing which is not the topic of today's video, but today's video talks about what things you have to do about updating your blue card, your additional paper.
Okay, so now I would like to show you how a typical blue card looks like. And here is the copy of my own blue card. So it's known as Aufenthaltstitel, and here's my name, And here is all about me myself. I have masked the confidential or my personal information. And this is a typical blue card. The other side of the blue card looks like this. And here you see the most important thing is Anmerkungen, that is remarks, Erwerbtätigkeit, siehe Zusatzblatt. So, Erwerbstätigkeit means kind of a profitable business, you can say, or where you are engaged. For that information, you have to siehe, that is to see, Zusatzblatt, that is additional paper. So this is the blue paper, that is Zusatzblatt, which contains your information about your employment status. Then some personal information like eye color, height, and all that stuff. Now this is the authority because I got my blue card issued from Köln. So thereby it is STV Köln. And here is the most important thing that I was telling you, Anschrift, that is Adresse. So this paper, it's kind of a sticker. As you can probably see, this is a paper sticker. And because I recently updated my blue card from Falkland, so they have, there's a Falkland Siegel, that is Falkland stamp. And this paper keeps changing. As in when you change your address, this sticker will keep changing. And below is more information. Now I will show you how my own Zusatzblatt looks like. So here is the copy. So as you see, this is also known as blue paper or additional paper, you can say. Now what does it contain? Nebenbestimmungen, that is additional information or nearby information. Beschäftigung als Consultant by GmbH und this is Köln. So that is, my company name is mentioned here. Bundesweit erlaubt, that is I can work throughout Germany as consultant, right? So I mean, if my company presently I was during my previous employment I was I was situated in Köln, but my company is free to put me in any other place in Germany. Now, the wichtige information, the important information ahead is sonstige Erwerbstätigkeit nur mit Genehmigung der Ausländerbehorde erlaubt. That means additional or other Erwerbstätigkeit. That means, if I want to engage myself in, let's say, some other money related or money benefiting, money earning, if I want to engage myself in some other occupations, then it has to be done only with the permission from Auslanderbehorde. That is very important thing that they have mentioned it clearly. Zusatzblatt zum Aufenthaltstitel, zur Aufenthaltskarte, zur Aufenthaltserlaubnis. Then the other side of this Zusatzblatt is this. So it hardly contains any information. This is only my name, and here is the blue card number with which it is associated, and this is the blue card number and when it is valid. So this was my previous one. Now here I want to show you the updated one, because only in the month of December 2021 I switched over to a new company, and I had to, that was within 2 years tenure of my JSV, of my first employment. So I had to take the permission from Auslanderbehorde. So now again, as you see, this is the new blue card, a new Zusatzblatt. Blue card is still the same. Diese Dokumente gilt als Zusatzblatt zur Aufenthaltstitel. So that means this paper is associated with a blue card, which is number and which is valid up to this point. And here you see Landratsamt Falklandkreis, SG Asylum und Integration. That is the Ausländerbehorde of Falklandkreis. This, by the way, is in Sachsen. So because that time I was working absolutely remotely from house, so I shifted out to Sachsen. And that is the state in Germany, and there I did my Anmeldung, and that's why when I shifted to a new job, I had to approach the Ausländerbehörde of my area. So this is the one side, and the other side of my updated blue Zusatzblatt looks like this. Nebens Bestimmungen, nochmals, once again, here is the additional information. Bundesweit Beschäftigung als Business Assurance Senior IT Auditor by erlaubt ab 1/1/2022. So as you see, now they have updated my Zusatzblatt, and they have clearly mentioned that I am allowed to work as Business Assurance Senior IT Auditor. That is my post designation, and it's valid from 1st January 2022. Now, another important thing, I don't know on what basis they have mentioned this point. Sonstige Erwerbstätigkeit nicht erlaubt. That means I cannot take up any other occupation or profession. This is something that I need to clarify, because in case if somebody wants to, let's say, do some free work or volunteering work or something like that, so it's kind of a dark or gray area for me. I am not able to understand if I can take up any other small volunteering tasks or jobs or not. So this was all, and now I would like to show you my new blue card. Well, blue card is still the same. There is no new. The only thing new is this thing. That is this card, this paper on the sticker on it is now changed. As you see, I have recently shifted to Berlin because of my new job, and here is the Berliner Siegel, that is stamp, and you see my new address is also posted here. I have masked it. So this way, blue card is still the same. Only thing is the sticker on it has changed because of my new Anmeldung address. Apart from that, my Zusatzblatt is also changed.
So friends, there are 2-3 documents that you must keep handy for this purpose of updating your additional paper. First of them is the contract, that is the signed contract from your new company. So this is most important. Of course, you need not send all these original papers. You can even scan them in color and then send it to Auslanderbehorde. This is the first document. The second document is your Anmeldung certificate. Now, as I always insisted, friends, whenever you come to Germany, you have to mandatorily do Anmeldung. Without that, you will be literally, at every step you will face a lot of problems. So get your Anmeldung done. Receive your Anmeldung certificate from Rathaus. That's most important. The third and the most important thing is the Stellenbeschreibung, that is the job description. Now this is normally a 4 pages PDF file that I'll check out if it's possible. I'll post it in the description as well. You can have a look at it. This 4-page PDF has to be filled up by your employer, and probably you also need to sign up on it. And this 4-page document you have to scan and send it to Auslanderbehorde.
This is the website of Berlin Auslanderbehorde, and it talks about employment change. That is change of employer at the location Berlin Immigration Office, Friedrich Kraus Ufer. So that means, friends, fortunately in Berlin there is a special web page which talks about your change of employment within 2 years time. It also shows some rule that I would like you to go through thoroughly. Current information, however, this information to view, okay, FFP2 mask. Okay, so now I would like to focus upon this point. Employment change, that is the change of employer. Do you have a residence permit for the purpose of employment or a blue card? Does your work permit specify a particular company? Do you want to change your company? So these 3 points you must consider. Then please apply to have your residence permit for the purpose of employment or blue card amended. Please note, however, before our instructions. So they have mentioned blue card amended, however, it's only the Zusatzblatt which gets amended. Note, your residence permit for the purpose of blue card does not have to be amended. So it has not to be amended if you have already worked for 2 years. That means in case you have already worked for 2 years, then you are free to change your company without even the permission or information to Auslanderbehorde, and or you have resided continuously in Germany for at least 3 years. So obviously, if you have resided in Germany for 3 years and you came on job seekers visa, definitely you must be employed for more than 2 years in that case. So that's also a possibility, but not valid for everybody. And in addition, there is no time limit fixed by a type of employment, such as example in the case of specialty chefs or within the framework of an exchange of personal or an intermediate. Well, I don't understand, but it is something which may or may not relate to you, but please have a look at this as well. Okay, you can then move to another skilled employment without prior approval. So if these things are there, you can go ahead. Do you still want to employer, but something, there is one more important thing, friends. In case if your company name changes, for example, at sometimes it so happens that if you work in a startup and the startup is taken over, or there's an acquisition by a bigger company and the name changes, then you need not do anything. Do you still work for a same employer, but something has changed? For example, the name of the company of your job. Also in this case, your residence permit does not need to be changed. So there is nothing that you need to do. So in case if you want to have more information, please have a look here. Prerequisites. So for this task, what you need to do is possession of a blue card or a work permit limited to the company. Now again, Zusatzblatt is here, that is the work permit is limited to the company, main residence in Berlin. Of course, if you are in any other city, you have to do the same job, but of course not in Berlin. You have to approach your own Auslanderbehorde. And application. So this can be only an email, a text over email saying that, blah, 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 I have changed to this, and please give me your permission. Documents required. Form, that is Erklärung zum Beschäftigungsverhältnis Stellenbeschreibung. So this is the Stellenbeschreibung I was talking about. I will show you this paper also. Copy of employment contract, passport, proof of main residence in Berlin. So these are the documents that you need to send, and let's talk about this. Erklärung zum Beschäftigungsverhältnis, job description. Now, so here is this 4 pages or 6 pages form that I was talking about. That is a Stellenbeschreibung. Now this is all in German, and it has to be, I believe, I have to check it out, but it has to be signed by you as well as by the employer. Now, if you want me to make a dedicated video on this form, then please comment. I will make another video on this. Else, because this form is only related to Berlin. For Hamburg, for München, for any other place, it will be different. Now, what about the fees? If the residence permit of EU Blue Card needs to be amended, it is free of charge. So that means only if you are going to update your Zusatzblatt, it's free of charge. However, if you have to extend your blue card also, then 96 euros will be the fees. And here is more information. If you feel like, you can go through this link for further information.
So in in totality, there are 3 documents you have to send. One is your Stellenbeschreibung, that is the this form, and then second is your job contract, that is the Vertrag, and the third one is the this Anmeldung letter. Anmeldung certificate. These 3 things you have to send to Auslanderbehorde and ask them to please give you an appointment, because you have to physically go to that Auslanderbehorde to update your this additional paper. Now, I also suggest that always send your blue card as well in this email, the both sides of the blue card or the work visa, whichever type of visa you have. Apart from that, also the existing additional paper, that is the Zusatzblatt. So in totality, there will be 5 documents that you will be sending. So once you send all these documents, your Auslanderbehorde will most likely revert back within a week time, and they will give you an appointment date that, yeah, please come on this date at this time, and then the job will be done. Now, the biggest thing is, friends, this appointment itself might take a lot of time, especially if you are in a metro city like Berlin, München, Hamburg, or stuff like that. If you are in smaller cities like Dresden, for example, Leipzig, and these stuff, you may get an appointment for this purpose within 10 days time or 7 days time as well. But in bigger cities, it might take even 15 days time. So make sure you do all this job well in advance. The day you sign a contract with your new employer, I strongly recommend straight away approach your Auslanderbehorde right away. So now, how much time does it really take to update your Zusatzblatt? So friends, as I said you, the majority of the time required is only for the appointment with your Auslanderbehorde. Apart from that, it's only a 30 minutes job, trust me, it took me less than 30 minutes to get it updated at my Auslanderbehorde. Another question, how much money does it cost? So fortunately friends, it costs nothing. It's absolutely free of cost. You need not pay even a single penny for this. The only thing is, in case if you have to go for a brand new blue card or new plastic card, then you may be required to pay 96 euros. So be aware of these charges as well. Now a recommendation from my side based on my own experience, friends. Many a times it so happens that if I am working in Hamburg, for example, and I get a new employer in München, so let's say on 1st of January I sign a job contract with my München employer. uh, Parallelly, I'll be more than interested to switch over to physically switch over to München, because I need to stay in München in that case. So what happens with most of the candidates is, parallelly they will start searching for an accommodation, and in case if they find an accommodation, they will switch over to München then, for example, in this case. Now here, in case you have already approached Auslanderbehorde of Hamburg, and then you switch over, and that Hamburg will, let's say they revert back with an appointment on 15th of January, that is after 15th day, and in this time you have switched over to München, for example, you have done Anmeldung in München, then this may complicate the situation, because you are now presently registered in München and you have already started a process with Hamburg. I strongly recommend, friends, do one thing one time. Never mix things like this. This may complicate the process and may even overshoot the deadline for you to join the next company. Instead, the day you sign your job contract with a new employer, straight away in your existing Auslanderbehorde you should approach, because anyways most likely you have to serve at least 1 to 3 months notice period in your existing company. So while staying in this company only, while staying in the same ungemelded address, that is registered address, please approach Auslanderbehorde and get your additional paper updated, and only then switch over to the new place, that is your, in this case, München. Make sure, else it might complicate the complete process. Otherwise, in my case, friends, it was just a 7 days task. I got this updated within 7 days only. It was just like a cakewalk. So this was all about this video, friends. In case if you like this video and you found this video helpful, please like this video as well as subscribe to my channel. And in case if you have any doubts or any suggestions, please feel free to post them on YouTube comments. See you and bye bye.